Mic check one. Mic check two. Here we go. I'm doing this. Hmm? You guys have been having a beautiful afternoon. It's a nice Friday. At least down here it's nice. But the summer, you could summer heat's starting to come on. I think it's already like we're well into April. You know. Let's see. All right, there we are. So, you know, maybe start off with some old reliable. Before we do that, let's see here. Well, I'm not doing too well. Yeah, I tried my controller real quick, but that's whatever. So things have been crazy a little bit. For me, it's more on the milder side, but the fam still needed some help. So you got to do what you got to do. Keep your people good, and had basically an emergency mission today, but we saw it through. Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything worth checking out at this current time? Let's see. Hmm. I currently don't see anything worth talking about at the moment. So I guess nothing major has happened since I've been off. You know, the last thing that we talked about was 4chan going down, and what was it Gargura announcing her graduation. So I guess I was still doing a race yesterday before I went to sleep. But so on that, I think the common consensus that yes, obviously, it kind of sucks, but everybody's kind of there for it. Everybody's trying to, you know, be glad of the things that happened, the things that have transpired, and that you know, everyone's trying to enjoy the last few days that they have left with the Goopa Shark. Other than that, I've just been oh, we got lucky. So where does that leave us? Me personally, lie. I've picked up some things that I want to be able to work on in between streams. And that would be a live 2D model. So I've been picking it up, Until then, my artist, she's been super helpful. She's been giving me updates on our current design that we have working on. And as well as me getting back into music a little bit. I'm stressing the shit out of this laptop that I got. Because even though, the lo-fi thing helps a little bit, but ultimately it's not me. I want to get my sound back out there a little bit. Lo-fi doesn't exactly exude Viridian crackhead energy. But either way, we are doing a lot right now to get this started. Screw you, game. Screw you. That wasn't even my fault. I was trying not to die. So when I'm between getting my car fixed, this project, some health issues with my family. But if you're concerned Some people may know that there was a recent school shooting. It has nothing to do with that, completely isolated. But my heart goes out to those that have been affected. It probably didn't have to come to this, especially when you hear so far the known information about the perpetrator. Right? He is alive. He has been captured. He's detained, but he still hasn't given a reason as to the obvious question everybody else has. As to why commit it. But the background information on the dude is that he apparently is a son of an active cop, which is how he got the firearms that he did, and it was supposedly a firearm, like a pistol and a shotgun. So he was definitely looking to accomplish a goal, and the goal may not have been, may not have been succeeded. That doesn't mean that he didn't do damage. He did. He ended the lives of two people, which is very unfortunate. And I think 6 others that are currently down, they are hospitalized. But I don't think they're gonna succumb to their wounds. So that's good. Yeah, this happened at FSU. Which is on the complete northern end of where I'm at. And complete opposite. I'm on the southern end. It's been so that is that situation. That is like a major story for us in Florida right now. As well as around our local area, it seems that 3 people were you know getting aggro as early as 6 a.m. this morning around the Miami Gardens area. I'm fairly acquainted with that area, and for me, it's kind of like one of those like, oh, what's new? That area has always been very iffy, but to start it off strong at 6 o'clock in the morning, like damn. The worst part is that event took place next to an elementary school, so I'm pretty sure a lot of kids were probably confused. It's something they don't need to see at all. On a lighter note, um, I guess the big deal right now for me would be my younger sister. She she's been having some weird jaw issues, and we seem to be figuring out exactly the root cause of what's been troubling her. So she's kind of happy about that, because the last few visits we had kind of broke her, because they made it seem like she's kind of going crazy when that's not the case. So it's nice that we got one dentist that's willing to look deeper into what's going on, and to maybe provide a answer or a solution to help aid with the problem. So who knows when I gotta take care of that. when we got to take care of that. Nice. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I see that my CPU is not having the best of time right now. We are not dropping frames, so that's good. But I want to help my laptop a little bit as much as I possibly can for it not to die. Let's see. There we go. So I have to set up myself in a way where I can actually track what's going on. Because I only have one screen, and I don't want to end up having an issue like last time, where I wasn't responding to chatters. Because I was just trying to do some reacts, and I guess I got too deep into it and didn't double check whether my YouTube chat was working or not. Let's see. And so well, I guess I know what I could do after this. Maybe I could check some websites to see what's going on the grander side of things. Because what I did go check my car today. I had a cover for parts to replace the flywheel. The old one is basically scorched earth. It's gone. Don't change. So that's so for me to destroy the flywheel in like what 3 years? That's pretty bad. Actually, no, it's even worse than that. The original flywheel lasted me for since I bought the car back in 2020, and but the flywheel job I did with it must have been pretty bad. If it didn't even last me almost a year since I installed it. That's unfortunate. So this time I said, you know what, it's okay. We'll put in the old OEM flywheel back, and I'll just get the warranty swap for the current flywheel I do have because it is not OEM flywheel. So while my car is there, this it's all split apart. Completely like split apart. Muffler down, transmission down, drive shaft down, all things to move it. It's completely down. So we are committed, 100% committed to fixing the job that we have going on with the car right now. Uh-oh. That was terrible of us. This is why you don't drive while, talking. You're not going to be focused 100%. Hell, maybe streaming too while we're at it. But that's whatever. Right now, this is nothing too serious. This is just us grinding, we vibing. And this is me talking to you guys. But not not dying while I'm driving would be nice too. My car decided he'd rather die. Either way. So we have I'm currently on my car out of ignition. And also have to deal with my mother's car as well. My mother's car can still move, but it's a Nissan Altima. So I think for those that are aware of Nissan Altimas, they probably already have a clue as to what's going on with that car. But it can still move under its own power, so that's the good thing. Just, for now. So the next time we need to move it, we'll definitely have to be to the dealer and nowhere else. I don't have the tools to work on a CVT transmission. Because I would need to lift the engine, unscrew the mounts. So the engine mounts, transmission mounts. Everything to make sure that that we would have room to pull the transmission out. Not exactly a hard job, but I currently don't have the tools personally to lift it out. So it is what it is. And how often do people try to work on their transmissions, especially on an economy car like an Ultima? Not often. But I think the worst one for me so far would be having to eventually deal with my evaporator leaking. I haven't. There's a leak in my boat for the evaporator. So that one's gonna be a nightmare because that one involves the AC. So that's definitely out of my hands. Funny enough, even though I've been driving it with basically no coolant, the engine is efficient enough to work without coolant. And it's like, okay, we're just chalking that up to natural air, right? because like it's not Florida heat right now, so he could probably survive for a good while without coolant. Most cars would probably just straight up die. But I guess that's the beauty of having a naturally aspirated motor and not having a turbocharger to worry about. Because turbos, they induce so much heat that they will skyrocket your temperatures. This is why this is like why older cars, they were air cooled. They just had like a heat exchanger and fins to help cool the air in, to help cool the motor, because the motor could work with in those types of conditions without coolant. But as long as they were naturally aspirated. So it's kind of funny. Like right now, I'm working with like what's basically an air-cooled V8 Challenger. Still, I still wouldn't recommend it for people to be running around like that. But hey, if it works, it works. You just couldn't do pools. Pools would skyrocket my temperatures way too high. So I'm like, okay, I can't have too much fun. I gotta limit myself. But hopefully we can get our car fixed soon enough, so that we can go back out and like do autocross maybe. Because I would like to do some autocross. Wow, this car is just... It burns racing hard tires. I haven't seen a car do that. We probably don't have this car set up correctly. It's probably still too low, or the spring rates are too harsh. Because we don't have the downforce necessary to keep this car steady and stable. It's also probably what's causing our tires to have such increased wear. And the wear is pretty high. I haven't seen racing hard tires get destroyed this bad. Not in a race like this. We still have like 2 more laps to go. This lap and then the upcoming lap. Hey Trent, glad you could stop by. Sorry I missed your messages on the last stream we had, but it's all right. Thank you for trying to tune in, and yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate it. We're all good over here on our end, but yeah, go get that good look, get that nice cut, and we'll probably see you afterwards. All right. And meanwhile, just trying to think about like any type of stuff that may have happened within recently. So there's that. It's like how often you get haircuts, bro? Because I can relate to the feeling of not wanting my haircut. When I was oh man, this was years ago. I used to have about like 17 inches of hair, and it was curly hair too. So when it would be straightened, it would be even longer. But eventually I had to get it cut. New life, new beginning, all that jazz. Oh. Oh, so you start to go into like the awkward phase, and it's like you'd rather cut it off than just go through the awkward phase of growing it out. I mean, I guess it will also depend on how often you get your hair. Like, you don't have a choice. I guess it's just one of those things. Ah, okay. I see. She wants you to look nice and cute and professional and all that fun stuff. Otherwise, if it was up to you, you probably wouldn't be doing it at all, huh? See. And I kind of I get my mother a hard time when it came to school photos. I remember that. I never wanted to cut my hair. I kept my hair for as long as I possibly could. I'm glad I did too. But for a time though, the I ain't gonna lie, trying to grow your hair out was like super awkward. Like because you have that phase where it's just super awkward to have long hair. It's not long enough to do anything with, but it's long enough to know that it's long, and you can't like it looks off. Everything looks off. Can't do shit with it. It looks weird. You know. And because I have pretty curly hair, so it took me like I think about a year to finally get through that phase. where I can finally start doing things with my hair, such as tying it up in a bun or ponytail or whatever. Uh-oh. It's kind of weird because like you basically can't grow it out if you don't have any like professional obligations yet, because you kind of have to wait until you settle into like a company you want to work for or whatever before you can actually start just letting your hair go. And even then, depending on what you're working at, they might probably might care if you already didn't come in with long hair that could be properly kept. It's super awkward. Like if you had to grow your hair out, like now would have been the time. Is basically what I'm saying. But how many years are you into college though? If you don't mind me asking. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. You're gonna have to. Yeah, you gonna have to pay attention to Mama. You gotta obey Mama for now. You don't have a choice. Let's see here. Hey, we got new weeklies we can grind. I just noticed. Let's see. Anything new pop up yet? We don't have anything to that's coming out recently. Let's see. Yeah, what the hell is going on with see. No, today's been a relatively calm day. It's interesting. What a Friday! Nothing major is going on today. I guess it's kind of good in hindsight. So in order for you to get the achievements you're missing, you needed to set it to normal instead of peaceful. Oh no, not. I finally understand what you're saying. You're talking about playing Geometry Dash while you're waiting for your Minecraft world to load. Got it. Got it. But it's taking way too long to recover your stuff, so you gave up, and so you're going to creative instead. You grinding gunpowder? It's been a while since I played Geometry Dash, but I know it ain't the same as what it used to be. Kind of like trying to play, what was it, Plants vs. Zombies? Shoot. Plants vs. Zombies was my shit. I love that game. That game was great. But, man, the microtransactions that just kept coming out, especially when you started playing, like, what was it, Plant vs. Zombie 2? My god, was it awful. So you can switch off creative once you recover your inventory. I guess another whole. What was another old school game that used to be like really good? What was it? It's on the top of my tongue. Damn it. It was like it was like a multiplayer beat 'em up game for 4 player Castle Crashers. There you go. Castle Crashers was fun. I don't know if you played that, but that was just, I had some good times with Castle Crashers. And some of the OST I know is in Geometry Dash as well. So that was the other thing. Playing is cool. I remember the memes going off back in 2020, before the pandemic. Uh, well, not before the pandemic, before the shutdowns. All the Plague Inc. memes. It's like somebody got the wrong version of Plague Inc. Good times, good times. Yeah, it's definitely worth looking into if you got some buddies. Because I know I think it's on Steam now as well. It's multi platform. I know that for a fact. Jesus Christ, my phone needs to calm down. See what else special event we got here. Third place or higher. 205. Do I have a 205? Yes, I do have a 205. A 205 Peugeot. Fucking French piece of shit. So where was I? Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely a game worth looking into for friends. Oh man, and the OST is the OST is a fun time. Ligma balls. He has a good sense of humor then. Oh shit. It may not be cancer, but how you gonna tell your friends you have ligma? They're both just as devastating. Ow. We took a terrible line there. Oh man. There's what? Yeah, like, how are you gonna be able to tell your friends that you have it? You know, without a straight face, without trying to cry. Like people are like, imagine if it's actually a deadly disease, like really deadly, and like you know, imagine the news trying to cover all that type of information. Imagine like your people's trying to go to your funeral and saying the he died of ligma, bro. It's over. I really gotta look that up, bro. Ow. Too much power in a front wheel drive car is a terrible idea. Can't steer for shit. It is so Jover. Next thing you know, we're gonna have to pay a phantom tax, you know? And then it's really Jover from there. So, this car's just. Ugh. Get me out of this race. This car is so miserable to drive. Australian senator. What did he say? You won't have to link me a source, maybe. Turbocharged sports cars. Oh, 700 pp or less. Okay, I can make this work. Hold on. That might be too much. Oh, okay, what about mediums? Just enough. Let's go, baby. Don't have to modify. Shit. I just equip worse tires. And I'm gonna be sliding for my dear life. Let's go. That's what it's about. Starting M2. M2 competition. Side. Coming up on the Supra. I'm just trying to end this event as quick as I can. And here we go through the curve like it's all good. It is all good. Uh-oh. Alright, no, we good, we good, we good. There's a Civic Type R. Bye, Civic. Gotta be careful on how we tap on the gas, though. Let's go. We almost reached 200 miles an hour. Oh, uh-oh. You just discovered BTD6? BTD6. What? What the hell? What would be BTD6? Sounds like something I should know if it has 6 installments. Holy. Okay. We almost lost ourselves there. Come here, Supra. Bloons Tower Defense 6. Nope, never heard of it. Bye, Supra. Sounds like a mobile game. I'm probably gonna have to look up all this stuff. Ah, it is a mobile game. See, I don't got games on my phone. Do you got games on your phone? No. Mainly because my phone is super simple. I do need to eventually get an iPhone though. For the sole purposes of eventually getting the Live 2D program that I'm trying to write by myself to work. Imagine just getting an iPhone just because you need it for something other than it being a phone. Some bullshit. Right now, I have like a very old school Galaxy A03. It has served me well. I still see no need for me to replace my phone. Although it does take forever for it to fucking load. So there's that, but other than that, it served me well. I haven't needed to replace my phone. Yeah, there are people that legit religiously upgrade their phones every year. It is crazy. It's crazy how they go through it. I'm like, bro, that couldn't be me. Uh-uh. Like, I get money's tough these days, but sometimes people don't make it any easier for themselves, you know? Like, there are some clear cases where you don't need to be buying a different phone every year. Straight up consumers. They know nothing but consume. Just buy product. Don't ask questions. Buy product and then get excited for next product. Oh, Yeah, one more lap to go. One more lap to go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I blame Gen X and millennials, which is my generation. You Zoomers, you Zoomers got it rough. No, I do not. Yeah, that's how I knew about him. But previously, before that video, I didn't watch him. Like that video of his went viral. At least I'm assuming that's the same person you're talking about, where I pull that reference from. Uh, in the dirt we go. Hold on. After this, we're gonna check some sources over here. There we go. All right, so well that's there. Let me check some stuff on my end. What the hell is this? I'm looking up the freaking Ligma. I see the Reddit thread for it. Oh man. Oh man, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Yeah, it's from 3 days ago. Ligma could be a recognized medical condition. Check the tabloid, the opinion site Dixerto. So, I'm definitely taking this with the mountain of salt. Yeah, published April 14th, so it's not an April Fool's joke. A fan of the H3 podcast phoned in to ask Ethan Klein to help him name his rare genetic condition after being approached to do so by the National Institute of Health. On April 11th, a caller named Typo was featured as a special guest on the episode of H3 podcast where he is described, where he described his shoot, where he described his unique genetic disorder and a once in a lifetime opportunity it's given him. Typo explained. Typo explained that he had been ill for most of his life, but was only properly diagnosed after going to the hospital when he began to feel especially sick 5 years ago. After getting a full blood workup, doctor said he has stage 4 cancer. But 8 biopsies and several invasive surgeries later, it was actually determined that Typo was aging differently due to his what the fuck is this telomeres? What is that? What is that? To better explain Typo's condition, we'll have to give you quick science lessons. Telomeres are protective structures on the ends of chromosomes that help prevent them from unraveling or getting entwined with each other. Think of them like end caps. Think of them like the caps on the ends of your shoelaces. Okay, I get it. When you're born, your telomeres are long and gradually shorten as you age. However, Typo's telomeres are extremely short despite being in his early 30s, leading to a whole host of medical issues for him. According to Typo, your cells either need to stop dividing or die. That's that's brutal as fuck. That sounds terrible. In fact, Typo didn't even have a detectable telomere on his chromosomes at one point. For now, doctors are working with to determine whether Typo's condition is an autoimmune disease or a telomere biology disorder. But in the interim, the National Institute of Health has given him the opportunity to name it. At first, Typo thought Ligma was a perfect fit, but worried that it was too low effort. The doctor he initially spoke to about it didn't get the joke. Suggestions came flooding in from chat, which included everything from BOFA, Shrek swamp disease, and Benjamin Button cancer disease, BBC. Oh man, oh man. Okay, yeah, that's something else. All right, that's enough of that. Until further notice, it's a fucking joke to me. Yeah, especially when you have to consider like I don't know, Ethan Klein is something else, especially what he's going through right now. Um, you know, he it's kind of like how do I, bro? I'm like mentally firing off with Ethan Klein just being having done the things that he has in the past few years has really bit him in the ass, and it's kind of like, dude, you made your bed, you get to lie in it. So it is what it is. Thank you for visiting, Trent, and I hope you take care of yourself. So until then, we're just going to continue with this finishing up the grind here. Let's see here. Yeah, IDOBS is uh, I don't know. There's just something weird about that whole circle. It feels, it doesn't even feel real. But yeah, so Ethan Klein brought it upon himself, yeah, but Hassan is definitely worse. And that whole side is just fucked up. Let's see here. We gonna enter. Blue Moon Bay infield layout. Reverse? Yeah, it is reverse. The Pappy get GTR gonna give him the work. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Honestly, I don't even. I should probably catch up on that situation. This seems to be sweeping pretty huge. Oh, oh, made it through. You did. Come here, 34. Oh, Mikey and Mari does not have the suspension work for that. And just like that, we got first place. Right, right here. That way we don't freaking die. What happens when you put a freaking race car motor in it? Let's go. In a small lightweight chassis like this, whew, feels unstoppable. Whoa. That was almost bad. Okay, we took the little too aggressively. We almost lost control, but we got it. We held it down, baby. That's how we do. Such a cute GTR. It's like a mini Gen 1 Challenger. And I love it. Slap my son. And then, let me see here. Let's see here. Ooh, just trying to find something real quick. I just saw something interesting that I actually want to watch. Damn it, and it disappeared. I could probably go through my watch later and probably see what's going on there. Yes, let's see this.
Got matches.
Also, please don't pay much attention to the background if possible. And so this is this video. It's Savage Geese. Savage Geese released it about 4 days ago. The 2025 BMW M2. And honestly, I like the new BMW M2. I like it a lot. It's my current favorite BMW car right now. Let's see here. Probably flip this real quick.
The 2025 G87 generation BMW M2. This car was definitely controversial when it first came out for a variety of different reasons. However, this car has just received some minor updates for 2025. So we'll do our best in this video to walk you through those changes in the shop, then take this for a drive around our favorite place on earth, auto.
I personally say I have a thing for cars in the shape of bricks. That's just my opinion, though. I think to me, they're the best.
Autobahn Country Club, where we're going to tear this thing up and throw it sideways. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of why today, I think
You don't have this son? No, I don't. Hold on. I'm sorry. You guys aren't even be able to see the same thing that I'm viewing.
this is one of the best buys in do everything sports car driving under $100,000. So with that, enjoy.
Look at the dash. It's a pretty interesting dash. Never sat inside one, so I don't know too much. But it seems we got tells you the gear that you're in, and then the speed at the bottom. It's probably maybe it's, yeah, they're on a private track, so this is definitely miles per hour. Got your information on the tires. The tires also tell you the tire temps as well, I guess. Probably in Celsius maybe. And you got your revs up here. Nice.
Before we slide this car anymore, let's talk about what's important, and that is price and value. If this car was $200,000, no one would care. But in today's world, I hate to admit it, $65,000 as a base price, particularly when you factor in the performance, is a good value.
That's huge, especially considering when you have like something like the Ford Ford Mustang Dark Horse that's going around for almost like what 80 grand, and then obviously both are susceptible to dealer markups, but knowing that the domestic cars that were once known for having cheap power are more expensive than the imports is a huge deal, big deal. But who knows if the price, because this seems to be this video seems to not take into consideration the potential effects of the tariffs. So they're saying that out there. So who knows what it's actually going to be like though. You got to keep tabs on that one.
Assembly equipped, you're about around 70,000 if you want these carbon buckets. You're in the mid 70s, and if you fully load an M2, it's about $80-ish thousand, give or take a couple grand.
Which you probably get a probably a much better performing car in terms of niceness. How reliable is it? Who knows? But it's almost the same price as a dark horse. People are probably still going to buy this over a dark horse.
This car, when you compare it to its rivals, is fairly reasonably priced.
And I do keep mentioning the dark horse because dark horse does kind of compete. They're both, you know, rear-wheel drive coupes, sport cars that are asking for semi-premium money.
Dark Horse Mustang fully loaded is.
And he says it. Let's go. I knew it. I knew it.
In the mid 70s. An RS3 starts at about the same price this does and caps out around the same figure. And I think this is a far more dynamic feeling car than an RS3. Now, there are two controversial bits, really, with the M2. First off, styling. No, it has not changed at all.
Good. I like this styling. This I like. I like this.
They have changed the colors for 2024 and now 2025. I do think the color options for modern M cars are quite good. Lots of bright, interesting colors that do make this car look better. And the other point I will bring up when it comes to styling is, at least to my eyes, this is not as ugly as it used to be. To BMW's point, they introduced the new car, everyone thinks it's hideous, and in like 3 to 4 years, nobody hates it anymore. Well,
I still hate the previous ones, especially the one with the big ass noses. You can't make me like that one at all. I'm sorry. No one cares about it because, well, it's already out there. It's not like they're going to change it. But we got more important things to worry about than like freaking the kidney grills that are about to suck up children as it travels down the street.
I don't think this car is ever going to be beautiful. I don't think it's ugly, which, again, judge my lack of taste.
But it's cool, and that's what matters to me. And it's almost in the shape of a brick. Almost. It's got some nice swooping, smooth lines, sure. But it's generally a blocky car.
The other thing is mass. I know we're primarily going to talk about this in the drive, but these cars are heavy. Now, from an interior side of things, honestly, this is modern BMW Clar. It's a nice place to be. Great visibility, perfect seating position. The M2 seats are tilted slightly or canted slightly inwards, but I can live with it. The seats themselves, the non-carbon buckets, which we first drove, are very comfortable. They are only heated, not cooled, but if you don't want these buckets, which are a little hard to get in and out of, they're great. If you want to track drive or you like the way these things look, I find these carbon buckets very, very comfortable. This car gets the most recent iteration now of iDrive, which if you have to use.
In my opinion, I don't like this whole thing of implementing bucket seats, but then destroying everything that bucket seats are known for, which is one, they're not necessarily the most comfortable things in the world. Two, they're meant to be lightweight, period. Just are. They're meant to be lightweight. So when you start adding heated and cool and heat and cooling and motors and like all this other extra stuff like power adjustments, and point is, now you're basically back to like a heavy ass chair. The only thing is that this chair looks kind of cool because that's what the current times are. people, for some reason, like the aesthetic of a bucket seat. Otherwise, people wouldn't be making these as gamer chairs that effectively do nothing but destroy your back until people decide to give these chairs lumbar support.
Your software, it has to be touch. This is probably the best implementation of it. You still have some physical M controls in the center console. The 25, you now have a flat-bottomed steering wheel, which can be Alcantara, which I'll leave up to you, but all of the steering wheel controls, the paddles, little toggles for your M switches on the wheel, and the physical controls on the steering wheel are all the same. And thankfully, you can still get this car as a manual. We've driven that car in the past. Again, that's probably how I would pick this car, but we'll see how the automatic fares on track. The rest of this interior space, essentially the same. Good door storage. Back seats have more legroom than they did in the past, but less headroom. The trunk is very usable. If you need a car to do everything, the M2 can accomplish that. And the Harman Kardon audio system is exactly what you're expecting in a modern 3 or 2 Series BMW.
Yeah, an adequate audio system. It just sounds like an extremely nice place to be for a decent price. It's slightly above average. Let's be real. The average prices of cars keeps increasing every year. So, if you're spending, you know, $80,000, you get a nice looking car, decent performance, nice interior, good audio system, a usable trunk, and a 5-year factory warranty on top of that. I can see why people would buy this car without a problem.
So let's head into the shop and put this car up on the lift.
The fun stuff.
In the shop with the 2025 BMW M2, the G87 generation. I'll do my best to keep this section of our video short. I'll briefly walk you through the very small list of mechanical updates for this.
So this is the front of the car. You got the fucking toe. Got some arms. The freaking lower control arm. The strut right here. Connects to the ball joint. The knuckles. And it's fairly covered. You got a tray right here to smooth airflow passing under. It's a nice fat intercooler too. Before introducing the condenser, and behind both of these is the radiator. The radiator. Some fairly wide tires for this size car. In the front, probably like 245s maybe. I would totally expect these wheels to be staggered. Maybe not in wheel diameter, but maybe in width. So like maybe like 235, 245 front, and maybe like 245, 265 rear. Uh, that's something that I probably would expect. But let's see what's going on here.
Cycle update, and of course, give you a technical overview of what the M2 is. So what's changed? Well, this car now makes a whopping 1 psi and change more boost than the car used to.
And what did it used to make? Like what? 1 bar? Or wait, hold on. Let's just say 1 psi or 1 bar. It's a huge difference.
Of course, give you a technical overview of what the M2 is. So what's changed? Well, this car now makes a whopping 1 psi and change more boost than the car used to.
For 1 psi, okay, that's nothing in terms of performance. It'll probably help it smooth. It's probably to smooth the power band more than anything else. It's not really meant to.
In the past, the M2 2023, 2024 models made a peak boost figure of 17.4 psi. This car now makes 18.9. It's good for about 20 horsepower.
So it's getting closer to that 1.5 bar, if not 1.5 bar already.
This car is now mechanically.
Wait.
Makes 18.9. It's good for about 20 horsepower. This car is now mechanically identical when it comes to its drivetrain to an M3 and M4.
Nice.
473 horsepower. However, depending on which gearbox you pick, the torque figure changes. Manual cars make 406 foot-pounds. Their power band or their torque band is between 2650 RPM and just over 6100. The auto cars start a little later. It's 2700 RPM and die around 5600. They do, however, make almost 40 more foot-pounds of torque. They make
So they're much more punchier when they're in power band, but they receive uptime. They have a more minimized uptime. But you also got to keep this in mind. Compared to a six-speed manual, the autos have more gears. So you have more chance to abuse that power band um, than you would in a manual. Because most of the time the manuals are geared to be pretty long. So in a common quarter mile, if you're doing a quarter mile race, for example, right? You'll probably go roll through maybe 4 to 5 gears, maybe. And that's not even the sixth gear. You're not touching sixth gear in a quarter mile race. But the auto will probably hit fifth and sixth, hitting that much punchier power curve than the manuals did.
443 versus the 406. And honestly, the autos are quite a bit quicker. The weight gain, which you get with an automatic gearbox, is essentially 40 pounds, largely negligible. You have a lot more power. These cars are good for 0 to 60 in the low 4s to high 3s, and they are vastly underrated. Regardless of gearbox, these cars make closer to almost 500 wheel horsepower, which is very, very impressive for the amount of money you're paying. And obviously,
Mm-hmm.
you have all the coolers to boot. The S58 is BMW's M inline 6. It's closed deck, it's twin turbo, it's got a variable oil pump. It has everything you could possibly need when it comes to coolers, and these things are incredibly, incredibly stout. Now, from a body and suspension perspective,
Look at this freaking brace. That's a thick ass brace. Get the you can see you can peek a little bit of the dry shaft as it connects to the differential. It's the fins, the cooling fins to the differential. Get your half shafts. It looks extremely, very well mechanically sound. It's just typical German stuff. I've been around this stuff. These guys know how to make hardware. Software is a different story, but they know how to make hardware.
how does the M2 differ from the M4? Well, it's got a much shorter wheelbase. You're
Yep.
working with
So shorter wheelbase means easier to rotate, generally speaking.
a 108-inch wheelbase, 108.1 technically, versus 112.4, I believe, wheelbase in the M4. Obviously, with a shorter wheelbase, this car is a little bit more nimble. What you're going to notice dynamically is that wheelbase, because the track of these cars, the width, is identical. They're running the same wheels, essentially, 275 front, 285 rear.
Boom. I was off on the numbers, but I knew they were staggered.
The same brake package, 6-piston front, 1-piston rear, brake-by-wire, I believe by Continental, so you can change the brake pressure, the brake feel of the pedal, and the same rear axle as an M4, essentially same diff, largely the same suspension kinematics. However, the
Yeah.
front axle
So maybe we could see a little bit of the rear suspension. It's probably multi-link. Yeah, it is multi-link. Look at this. Get the this one holds the spring. The spring got a strut. The way this is not like a wishbone or strut system in the rear. It's complete multi-link. You probably got the shock over here. The shock is like over here, separated away from the spring.
and the same rear axle as an M4, essentially same diff, largely the same suspension kinematics. However, the front axle is different in the M2, largely due to packaging. However, you still have an aluminum shear plate. All of the links are aluminum. all of this is very emified. You have adaptive dampers. The other thing to bring up is the suspension tuning. Obviously, with the short
Adaptive dampers is nice. And I'm pretty sure most cars in this brackets have some form of adaptive suspension tuning. Unless you're Dodge, then fuck everybody.
shorter wheelbase and the different character of the car, the M2 has unique suspension tuning versus an M3/M4. And within the M2, the autos and the manuals get different front spring rates. Again, you're probably not going to notice that when you're driving them back to back, but what you will notice is how these cars deliver power, how much more torque the autos have. So with that, let's go take this for a quick drive.
Let's see the race boy. Quick check. We seem to be good. Yeah, we seem to be good. Let's go driving impressions. Oh, we got Jack. Driving.
Oh, that is spicy. Well, Mark, because this thing's made in Mexico, sir.
Oh, nothing combines the spice of Mexico and Germany.
Yep.
BMW M2?
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm glad I'm on the inside, so I don't have to look at this thing on the outside.
Oh, those are what men in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You have
Yep.
X now, sir.
I don't know. I fight with it. Which is the least attractive of the two?
You know, look, we drove this a while back where we did our group comparison test with our title sponsor, Bridgestone, where we threw the manual variant of this, the old M2, the first one, and a Supra on all the same tire, and we drove them around south. And I think you and I weren't the kindest to
No,
this
I
M2.
was not the kindest, and I was actually really happy to get back behind the wheel in this car because I got to spend more time on the road this time in this. And on the way here, I really changed my tune because this car feels very substantial. You know, if you're used to coming from sports cars that beat the f out of you, that drive like shit, that are really noisy, that's not this. So there's the fact that you
Yeah, it's not like some rinky-dink Mustang, like maybe like a SN95, era Mustang where they were super cheap and very easy to get into, or the generation right after, I forget the name of the chassis code, but like they've been known for the longest time to be like very cheap for what they are, and thus everything inside feels like shit to drive. The car will beat you up. Everything breaks that isn't instrumental to driving, it just breaks. So most of the time, you just bought it mainly because you knew that you were going to do something with the powertrain of the car and the chassis. So when you're buying something like this, you get like the full package of like a nice place to be in, while also being in like while also having performance capability of other sports cars. Well, it probably still might not handle the best because for some reason we just keep making these cars heavier, and there's only so much tire you can stuff under these cars before it starts becoming a problem. Because these aren't lightweight cars for sure. We can probably look up how heavy the car is after the video.
can come out here, go monkey style, and then be in comfort on the road. This does a really good balance.
For
really
not an
good balance.
insane amount of money either.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, 65 starting, really, realistically, let's say low 70s is a lot, but
It still hurts most people.
for the performance you're getting and the flexibility of this car, it's a really strong value. And I think, compared to the Dark Horse, which to me, the Dark Horse, probably the two closest competitors. They're priced about the same, they make similar power, they weigh about the same. How do you feel about this car dynamically?
So that's where it's kind of on the street. You don't notice it so much. I mean, it's just an unbelievably fast car. It's got to have one of the best automatic gearbox to engine combinations for anything under $100,000. It's just
If I had to take a guess, because I don't think they mentioned the manufacturer of the automatic gearbox, it's probably a ZF transmission. and those have always been, from my understanding, very good and solid and robust automatic transmissions, which is why they're on most sports cars. So it's probably like if I had to guess, probably a wet plate. Now whether it's dual, it's a different story. I'm not too sure if it's probably DCT or not, but it most likely would be a wet plate transmission for sure.
Just remarkable, like really remarkable. I'm not just talking shit. This brand, I can't believe they can do this for this price. And if you get behind the dark horse, which you said you kind of enjoy driving better, this thing makes that thing look like 100 years old.
Yes, it
I
does.
mean, this
Particularly
car,
automatic to automatic.
oh yeah, it just the substantial. This car feels so beefy and substantial, but
Yeah, boy.
But the problem is the front and the rear axles are completely isolated out from you. I feel like most of the time I'm like a machine trying to proactively, predictively guess what this car is doing because it literally communicates nothing from like laterally from the force of those tires into this car. It's just guessing game the entire time. It's not like that it's not predictable, but there's no communication. And what makes it great on the street really kills it for me on the track.
So there's no feedback between what's happening with the tires and you feeling it on the road. Like Mark said, that's very ideal in a normal traffic, heavy traffic day to day type of thing. Because roads aren't perfect. Nobody wants to get their fucking teeth shattered in when they're dealing with nothing with rough roads and bumps. So engineers are gonna be more inclined to make the car softer or feel soft on normal roads. That's where the this dynamic or adaptive shocks and technology, all that stuff starts to show promise. But I guess even in its current settings, it probably doesn't feel as much, according to Mark. More like as you drive the car in a closed course racetrack, normally these roads are tend to be much more perfect, but this is where you want the communication of your suspension to be felt through both the chair and the steering wheel, and you sense none of it. So the idea of adaptive damping technology is to allow the driver to uh, adjust the damping so you can start feeling the road when you want to. It's for track driving, obviously. But the fact that these people, that apparently Mark, he can't feel anything. So this probably feels like a similar story to maybe like the Toyota Supra and the current generation of the, was it the Z4? Because they're both the same chassis. And most people would say it's just the same car. That's a whole debate for a completely different day. But the main thing that I'm trying to say is that most people find the Toyota Supra extremely hard to drive, mainly because they can't predict what the hell the car is about to do to them. So that's probably the same situation that Mark is probably trying to describe here. Like you really have to know that car. So you have to spend a lot of time with that car to try to figure out what it likes and what it doesn't like. Because it's not going to tell you immediately.
Yes, it is a very isolated car. I will give you that. If the feel part, and we can say that about almost every modern BMW, they're definitely lacking in that department. You brake by wire. The steering, while it is ultra direct and very, very fast, there's not a lot of feel in the front end. Basically none. The only feel you're getting from this car, in my opinion, is the G-forces you feel. But I mean, you have really good inputs for what it is, and we're chasing down a Lamborghini race car with not too much effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're gonna, this guy.
That's nice.
On you.
This car wasn't made in Mexico.
Make sure when you pass this guy, you don't use your turn signal. Yeah. But I mean,
Nah, that I saw that. That
just
Lamborghini took that personally and left.
how great this brand is at making these dual-purpose cars that can literally go out here and then be amazing on the street, combined with good tech, like actually good technology as well. It's an impressive car for the price. The price is nuts.
Yeah, that Lambo's braking way too early. He's just chilling more than anything else.
Yes, please.
Before you throw up?
Yeah, I'm about ready to. Final thoughts on the M2. Since our last comparison test with this car, we've got to spend a bit more time with this updated variant, which is very, very subtle. It's still one of the very few coupes that is left on the planet that is somewhat affordable, or let's say aspirational, with a manual transmission and a very good automatic gearbox. The power is ridiculous, and the overall technology that's been implemented in this car is top notch. From infotainment, the way that the electromechanical systems work on this car, engine tuning. I mean, it's definitely surprising what you get here for the money. But like every car, it's not perfect. And we've never really got to talk to the drivetrain or vehicle dynamics engineers from BMW, but one of the things they do great is isolation. It's one of the reasons why I've owned more of their luxury products, because they just tune out the rest of the world and everything feels so solid. But this is the negative part about the M2 and a lot of these M cars is I really do feel like the NVH teams and the chassis teams have completely gone off the deep end and isolating you out from the driving experience to a negative level. When I want a coupe that has a manual trans or driver's car, I don't want to be completely isolated out from the inputs. There is essentially no lateral or vertical load that gets transferred into the steering wheel, into the pedals, into the driver at all. And on a luxury product, I get it. But when I'm heading out and pounding around, I want to feel something from the car. And I think they probably have a fight internally, from vehicle dynamics to NVH, of where the philosophy is. And clearly they've skewed all of their cars now towards that isolation factor.
So, I guess a bit of a translation is that due to all these system mechanics that they put in there, brake by wire. I don't know if people watching understand what brake by wire is. Basically, it's just you pressing a sensor, and the computer inputs or intuits your how much pressure you pressed on that brake pedal, and it'll press the brakes for you proportionally to your input on the brake pedal. This means you don't feel the hydraulic fluids that you normally would associate in a normal car when you're trying to press the brakes hard as hell. You know how sometimes the brakes will try to like fight with you when you're mashing the brakes. If you've ever been in that type of situation before, you know. And that's the type of thing that you want to experience when you're trying to drive really hard in a sports car in this type of environment. You want that feedback. You don't get that feedback here because it's by design an isolated input. And the same thing with the steering. The steering is also uh, it's electric steering. Most of the time, when it comes to BMW cars, especially the new ones, they have electric steering. So these are not tied by fluids again. It's all isolated. The steering wheel doesn't exactly steer the car itself. It just you rotate. The car sees what's going on, and it'll use electricity to power motors to steer the car in the way that you're trying to steer the car. So electric works, electric steering. So that's how most cars are, and that's why they sometimes feel nice. So if you ever start going back through different model years in the past, you'll feel that some things feel rough or more tough and aggressive. That's generally why, is because throughout the times we've severed that isolation. So for BMW, it's also the most weirdest one because most of the time the M badge nowadays is more of a luxury thing, luxury brand, rather than a sports car or like a sporty uh trim level. It doesn't have that sportiness in it anymore.
So again, that's a big long diatribe. This is still a really great car, and I'm sure, like everything, if you do some modifications to suspension and bars or alignment, it's going to come more alive. But it's just sad that we constantly have to buy these expensive cars and modify them to get them to basically make you feel anything in terms of inputs. So a big thank you to our BMW reps. They've been far more helpful and really, really on the ball with trying to get us information. Thank you to Autobahn Country Club, who has been there to support some of these projects where you take insanely capable cars like this and allowing us to drive them as they should be driven safely without, going to jail. If you are in the Midwest and you're looking for that driving experience, a driving school, you want to become a member and take your own car out on a track, do some karting or various events with other members, that's the place to go. Check them out. But a big thank you to the viewers who continue to hang in there with us, and we'll continue to churn out somewhat viewable content. Thanks for watching. See you next video.
I love their content. Their content's great. So there's that. A nice another video by Savage Geese. This video was the 2025 BMW M2. Hope they can keep this car alive. Hope they keep this car alive, more accurately. So I think we have one more race to grind out. Let's see here. We should have one more race to grind out before we finish our weeklies. Yeah, one more event, finish the weeklies. It's WTC 800 at the Nürburgring. 3 laps around the Nürburgring 24-hour. Ooh, nice. Use the Enzo. Let's go. Detailed. Let's see. New add sheet. Yes, sir. We're gonna add penalty lights, race settings, none mechanical damage, no. There is fuel and tire consumption. So let's put some racing mediums. Change. Okay. So also let's put on some smooth tunes a little bit. Racing medium, fully customized. We can slap this baby down all the way. Have it 11, 13, bar 25. We can keep the compression and expansion the same as it is right now. We are going to put 326. Uh, 340. Do 340. Camber. We'll keep camber. Do one. .7, keep it straight ahead. do 0.30 fully customized. We'll get the diff a little soft. $425. ECU at 100%. Power restrictor. No ballast. I think this seems to be it. Excuse me. There we go. So let's see if we can get this race done on the Enzo. We recently bought this Enzo. And unfortunately, because it is a road car, we do have to drive it at 6, fuel map 6. Catching up to the RSR. Come on, RSR. Ford GT. No. $1.6 laps remaining. Catching up to the 4C. 4C Group 3. Alright, so we should be good to complete this race. Scusi. There we go. It's a nice, beautiful sunset across the green hell. I take the Sarks. Oh no. I didn't want to bump into that wall. This section of the track has always been my weak spot. I just go too fast. Very misty. Well, I think we should be catching up to the GTR. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Yeah. I guess we're having a cookout with all that smoke. Catching up to the, was it the M6? Uh-oh. We failed the carousel. Hit that WRX. What up, M6? Oh. It's like that, huh? Damn. Nah, I know we got some damage for sure. M6, on my way. You slow. You slow as fuck, boy. Alright, catching up to one of the Supras. Of course, the AI doesn't see me. There we go. See the moon up in the sky, it's beautiful. Yeah. Ooh. And now we head down the straight. It's 200 miles an hour, baby. And we messed up royally, but it's okay. So we'd probably continue without changing tires yet. Yeah, put some damage on it. So sad. So next pit, we'll change tires and add a little fuel, and then we finish first place. Easy peasy. Whoa, come on. Fucking. Fuck you, GTR. For real, let me go. Let me go. Catching up to the RX Vision and the other M6. I think that's the sprint model. Uh-oh. Damn it. Wanted to keep it clean, but no. And I certainly do not have the patience to do this race all over again. Oh well. Yeah, they're definitely cooking something over there. Looks cool. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, that was close. That was close. I think my mic picked that up. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here, Aston. Yeah, that's a fairly passable carousel. Uh-oh. No, I definitely don't want to look at my own replay. Let's go. Don't want to go airborne. I don't got downforce like that. There's the Viper. Where's the, oh, there he is. Yeah, all three of them are here. Three of the fastest. And we screwed ourselves over. Like always. Portilla. Portilla. Is it Portilla or Portilla? I don't know. Let's go. We need a wee bit of fuel, just a wee bit. Oh, AMG GT3. Bye-bye, AMG GT3. Alright, we didn't go off the rails this time. We're good. So I'm gonna swap for some new mediums. And get a little bit of fuel so we can finish the lap. And haul ass out of here. Yeah, we did some major damage. Let's go. We kind of have it smoothed over. We just win. We just went from here. Go, there we go. Alright, so we handled that pretty well. We're gonna go straight through the foxhole. We have went through the foxhole. We got some master grillers over there, bro. You see that smoke? I hope you guys can see the smoke that I see it. Nothing but a nice relaxing drive. Uh-oh. A nice relaxing drive through the Nürburgring. Nordschleife. Nordschleife. Also known as the North Loop. We've almost reached the northernmost point of the track. But we have yet to reach the highest point of the track. You're going north. Uh-oh. We're doing too well, apparently. We've almost reached the carousel. We're still not done going going up. The elevation in this The elevation in this stage is extreme. Just a bit more. All right, we've reached the uppermost point of the track. Now it's all downhill from here. Shit. Be careful. Very easy to gain a lot of speed. Very easy to understeer. Straight the fuck off. Now that I'm reminded, I want to see some. Uh-oh. Some Nordschleifer shenanigans. Yeah, I felt that my controller stopped vibrating. I knew I was airborne. You know, you may be asking yourself, Nordschleifer shenanigans? What do you mean? Well, just so we have it, there is a event that happens in Germany called Touristenfahrten. Not my fault. The language works the way it does over there. However, Touristenfahrten basically opens up the track for the public to use as they see fit. Well, obviously, within legal means of the law, of course. So you'll see funny things show up in this track. There we go. Oh, the poor Enzo got his ass beat by me. Just smashing it all over the freaking track. Yeah, we completed everything. So I'm gonna look that up real quick. There's a YouTube channel that specifically, all he does is car spot at the Nordschleife. Let's see here. Let's see here. That's up. Here we go. It's by this YouTube channel named Auto Addiction. They do car spotting at the Nürburgring. This is in what tricky conditions. So basically, any condition that isn't normal dry conditions. Got a bunch of beamers just running around. Ooh. Oh, this is a freaking a GT3 RS. Just running around. And I believe the GT3 RS nowadays is 4-wheel drive now. And one of the the last models of the GTR. It's pretty cool. You saw that slide? Saw that slide? Yeah, this was on the downhill section of the track before the track ends. Before the track starts. Yeah, it's crazy. Just look at that slide, a little cha-cha slide. It's a little sideways action. Oh man, dude, I didn't even know they had it as a hatchback like that. That's cool as shit. I want one. Although it would have been cooler if it was two-door, but close enough. One day I will have my two-door hatchback, rear-wheel drive. That's wild. You got Subi. Subi was built for this. He chilling. Oh, he almost let it escape from him though. But for the most part, he chilling. Whoa, that is wild. That's why you need a little bit of skill to drive from. Oh no. Uh-oh. No, he got it. He got it. That was on purpose. He got it. Meanwhile, the golf is probably just trying to get ahead of him so he can stop dealing with his ass. Another GT3 RS. Those are some nasty monster Porsches, dude. Got an Audi? Oh, most Audis are four-wheel drive. They good. Got a front-wheel drive car. Uh-oh. I don't think he likes that very much. He's sliding with it. There you go. You know they all came there at once. It's them boys right there. That's what that is. Boys activities. Got a wagon. The wagon was not having that nonsense, no. Also four-wheel drive. Come on, bro. And the GT3 RS. This one's wrapped. Not a particular fan of the wrap job. Little slide. Little slide. That's a nice what's it? Ooh. That Mercedes being a little dangerous there. Not a fan of that. Ugly ass M2. So glad it's redesigned. But he almost couldn't handle it for a second there. Got some front wheel drive action. Don't drink and race. That is correct. Don't do that. I got the Tesla. Bro, that suspension on that Tesla was fully loaded. Look at that. Look at that. Just straight up fully loaded rear end. This is why we still say that EVs are not meant for any of this type of stuff. This car was not built with that in mind. See, that old Beamer is chilling. He took it like a champ. This is what happens when you weigh 2,000 pounds lighter, I guess. Got some father and son time right there, man. Those Beamers were going at it. And a Hyundai Genesis and a Suzuki. A Suzuki Swift. It's a nice Swift. A wagon, no hatchback. I wouldn't call that a wagon. We got a Renault Megane and a Mustang GT350. So not even a Mustang. That's straight up a Shelby GT350. That is neat. Just found itself randomly in Germany one day. Yeah, it's a Shelby car. Yeah, that GT350 was being built purposely for this track. And an older 2 Series, I think. There was, you can see the family in the car. That's cute. He chilling. Yeah, he vibing. You know, we saw this car, same car earlier. Don't mind me, just making sure that there's no random chatters just being left to rot. That was a alpha, an older alpha. Is that the 155? Yeah, it's a 155. Very neat. That Hyundai going in, that N Hyundai N. It's a lot of Beamers. I like that Beamer. Ooh, whoa! You saw that? You saw that? Nice little sparky spark at the bottom. Suspension front end fully loaded. You can barely take it. It's gonna happen on this side. Yep. Here comes another three GT3. Holy, whoa, whoa, whoa! What am I saying? GT3 RS. There you go. Another GTR. Almost a slip and slide. Okay, it's not that wet. That's not that wet anymore. I believe they don't like letting you do get away with that. Like they don't like letting you. They don't like people drifting on purpose. So they'll let it slide if it's wet because who knows? It could actually be a legit thing. So when it comes to inclement weather, but the street, while damp, as we can hear the tires squeak earlier, the track is dry enough for you not to be doing this shit. Especially when you got random people, just behind you. But they all BMW bros, so they might have come in at one. Miata! It's a Miata! Nice. I love seeing out of place economy cars like this. Bro, this is so cool. Look at this. Look at them. They're so cute. Not too fast, but all the more furious. Okay? That's how it is. On purpose. That's a nice Beamer though. We got a what was it? Citroen. Citroen. I don't know how you say that manufacturer's name, but it's chasing a GT3 RS. That's all that needs to be said. That's the wrapped GT3 RS. Ooh, nice. A bit too aggressive. I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it all right. What's the small red car though? I can't tell exactly what it is. Huh, it's a Suzuki. Very cute Suzuki. Going here thinking like that's not an Integra because the taillights look like the old DC2 Integras. Ooh, an old school 350Z. Before they started to get ugly with the 370 generation. Yeah, the 370 Zs. It's a Clio, Renault Clio, and he's going ham. Front wheel drive Fury, baby. All gas, no brakes. Got a slightly older BMW wagon, Hyundai, and another Beamer. And a 350. That's a bro. Seeing a Mustang next to these small cars, I never realized how big it actually is. You know? I know that kid's just chilling. I don't know. Down the hill lies, maybe. Maybe, who knows? Ugh. Another M2. What happened to you, boy? And this is wet, wet. Very wet. It's a mini. An old school mini. Is it a mini? It should be mini. Yeah, that is a mini. That's cool. Wait a minute. I can't stop. Flathead. Okay, yeah, that is a mini. I had to verify. It may have been a mini with the engine put to the rear. So it's still an air cooled motor. Got a GLE just chilling. Got this nice Beamer M3. Just cruising through. He's gonna pop a slide because he's a G. Nice. The other wasn't sure if he wants to do it or not. Slide out, slide it. Yeah. Some more wagons. Audis are all-wheel drive. You can't be doing that, son. Yeah, he started that slot early, and he made it all the way. He was spinning so hard, he dried up the street, so it started actually burning rubber. That tire was spinning fast as fuck, boy. Oh, that was so close to the grass. I know he was sweating a little bit there, for sure. So yeah, that was Auto Addiction video, Nürburgring highlights, tricky conditions, slides in action on 13th of April 2025, Touristenfahrten Nordschleife. Yeah, I'm be that. That was good. That was good. And I think that's gonna wrap up today's stream for today. For today. For today. Anybody that happened to have stopped by, I appreciate you. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. EST. You guys take care of yourselves. Adios.